All right, so my name is Adam Gonzalez with the Gonzalez in Spain, and I'm here with Vicky Pasche. She's the co-founder of Dapper Boy. So Vicky, thank you so much for being on. The reason I'm excited about this, I want to hear about Dapper Boy, but you and I have been connecting recently. We both live in Valencia. We
Yeah.
both moved from California. And last night, you and I were on the Instagram DM saying that we are in limbo between worlds of loving the life we built in Valencia, but also really truly loving what we've left behind here in California. Because as we sit today, we are both in California. You're in San Diego, and I'm in Ventura County. So, Vicky, please
Yeah.
do us a favor and introduce yourself, introduce your business, Dapper Boy, the vision, the mission behind what you guys do, and I'd love to get right into it.
Awesome. Well, thanks for having me, Adam. I'm so excited to actually physically meet you in person when we get back to Valencia.
Yes, yes, yes.
But yes, so my wife and I, Charisse and I, co-founded Dapper Boy. We started it in 2015, and it is an all-gender fit-first clothing brand, really made for people to feel confident in themselves. And so for me, it started with shopping in the men's department, not made to fit my ass,
Right,
frankly.
right.
I used to shop in the men's department. I'd have to buy jeans 2 sizes too big to get around this booty. And, I would just look really frumpy. And we wanted to do something about it. And long story short, we found a pattern maker. We were off to the races to really combine the best of both worlds when it comes to men's and women's jeans initially. And really, we've grown into this everyday brand. And we've been a real game changer for people. We get every single day people telling us how much we've changed their lives, their confidence and their self-worth. We were on Shark Tank. We've had a lot of great press, and we're still trucking on. And it's one of the main reasons we're here in San Diego, back in San Diego right now. Agreed. It's been such a mind F for us being back here in the
Yeah.
same place we left.
So I have to note that the junk in the trunk is what propelled the vision of Dapper Boy.
And so I went down the research rabbit hole of like, how do we get out of here?
Sure.
I started seeing all these videos about Valencia, Spain specifically because I love San Diego. I'm from upstate New York originally. Like, this was my dream location to live always. We had family here, and I had the opportunity to move here after college. And I've been here since 2005. And so
Wow.
I was living my dream life, but it didn't feel like that anymore. It felt like the walls were closing in on us. And I really wanted a better opportunity for our kids. Every time, we have twin 8-year-old daughters, my wife and I. And I think for me also during that time, one of our daughters came home and she's like, hey, we had this drill today where if a bad man comes in and happen to be in the bathroom, all you need to do, mama, is just stand up on the toilet and you'll be safe. Like,
Right.
that broke my heart. And so it was just like a, combination of all these things. And we are like, you know what? F it. Let's just do it. I had never even been to Europe. Like, that's how bubbled, my life was. And we just like literally chose Valencia because it said like some post said it was the San Diego of Spain. And we're like, let's go. And so it's an easy flight to the UK. I've already started creating those relationships, for our international expansion specifically. And from a business standpoint, some of our productions are made in India. There's a free trade agreement between India and the UK. So I felt like, if we start doing half productions, and sending half of our productions over there, that will offset our tariffs. Let's start growing in that way. And that was kind of my way of just kind of making this worth it for us to do.
Sure. All right. So there's a business mind of yours, and obviously there's a heart. We could be we could be very in our heads with this whole move, and this will work better mathematically, on paper, economically. But there's obviously the issue of the heart. And the heart is tricky right now. The reason I'm saying this is because you and I are in California. We've been living in Spain for over a year. And now we are in limbo. What does limbo mean to me? It's seeing all of our friends, seeing all of our family, going down all the streets, going to the restaurants, feeling the energy of this comfort, this love, this beauty of what you know. And we've created a life here. We love our life here in Southern California. We didn't run away from anything. We just truly wanted a different adventure for our family. Now, mind you, we are obsessed with the life that we've created in Valencia, and I know you are as well. But I want to talk about the heart because we are in California where we're getting so many conflicting messages of emotions, right? So talk to us a little bit about that. Like, How do you feel? Do you doubt the move? Would you consider
Yeah.
staying? Talk to us a little bit about that.
It is so crazy. I can't even, like, it's almost hard to describe. The best way to do it is just imagining myself before this trip. Um, I actually did not want to come back to San Diego. I didn't want to come back to the United States, even to visit. I was telling my wife, maybe you and the girls should go because I knew that the girls wanted to see their friends. And Charisse really wanted to come back too to see her friends. But we're every single day in Valencia. I mean, and I'm not even exaggerating. Every day we say, I can't believe we live here. Like, this is our life. We're imagining what it would look like. Could we have a house outside the city and in the city on the weekends? Like, we were just like painting this picture every day. We're, going to the Turia at night. We're going to fireworks and at night with our kids, things that we would never do before. And also never living the city life. It's just been amazing to just walk everywhere. So then, with this warehouse situation, it wasn't really an option for me to skip out, and stay back in Valencia. So, we were waiting on a very strategic investment to come through. It happened. And then we booked the trip. Literally, we were here less than a week after that. And so initially, I felt guarded, you know, and then it was within days that I felt like, oh my God, I love it here. Like, we're seeing our friends, we're seeing our family, we're going back to our routine. We're actually even staying, so we're staying at a very close friend's house that's in the same neighborhood that we left our home. And so it's like we're living these parallel lives to what we had lived before. We're even renting the same car that we had gotten rid of,
Nice.
before we left. So it's like
Nice.
we're driving by our old house. We're going to the warehouse that we worked out of. And now we're going to this crazy gym. We're just like loving life. The girls are seeing their friends. And instantly, it's like so weird that you feel like all of a sudden I forgot what Valencia feels like. Because, and then we're just like, is the grass greener? Did we make a mistake? We're having these conversations every day, my wife and I. Like, the girls, one of our girls is like crying, like, why did we leave here? And it's just like, what is happening?
That's true. So talk to me a little bit more about that because I could relate. So we have a 15-year-old daughter and a 10-year-old daughter. The 15-year-old wants nothing more than to stay. She does not want to go back. And it's not a black and white thing. She does enjoy Valencia to some degree, but we threw her to the wolves in a Spanish speaking school. She's now pretty fluent, but before moving there, she didn't speak much Spanish. They've been going to quinceañeras, parties, going to the fair with their friends, and now they're just like in this zone of why are we leaving? I want to stay. Our 10-year-old right now is with her friend. They spent the night a sleepover. So there is a lot of emotions, a tug and pull, and I'm glad that we're talking about this right now because a lot of people, us included, we paint this magical experience of
Right.
moving abroad. And as soon as you move abroad, it's going to be beautiful and your life will change forever, which is true. But I don't think anyone talks about what happens when you come back and visit. And the reason why I'm kind of like so weird in this moment is because just like you, I did not want to come back. I didn't want to come back. I didn't want to get mixed emotions. I felt like, you know what, let's invest in trips around Europe. When I first
Yes.
started seeing friends and family, I was also closed off because you're like, where am I? Our life is different. And then as the days progress, it becomes normal again. So what are you thinking? What are you thinking?
Yeah.
Do you think that it was a mistake? What's the end game for you if you guys see an end game?
Yeah, it's tough because when we were in Valencia, we said, like, this is our life now. I mean, Charisse was dead set telling people forever home, forever home. She's using those words. And now she's questioning everything too. And that's wild because she's the one that's like, once she makes a decision, we're doing it, it's happening. It was definitely my idea to move, but I had to convince her. And then she is all in and she's been all in. So it's crazy that we're both like feeling this way. And so now I'm just saying, let's take it a day at a time because, like we don't, well, our girls definitely didn't speak Spanish. We don't speak Spanish, though, at the same time, too. And so that has been challenging. But it's crazy because, like, when we're here and now that we're enjoying this, it feels like when I'm saying it that it's so much more challenging. I'm making it out to be like we don't speak the language, but at the same time we were getting by actually just fine. you know.
Right.
Well, I mean, we were excited about this year of like coming back, getting a tutor, going to classes, learning that. We weren't just, fine, but we're making it way more difficult now being here. And I don't know if that makes any sense, but it's just like that way. And one of our girls actually, and this is the heartbreaking part. One of our girls has autism, and she's a bit speech delayed. And here, we had her in speech therapy and all that too. And our concern with moving to Valencia was always about her also, of like, how would she adjust and learning a new language when she's speech delayed in English? And when we went, she's been just having the best time. But when she became emotional the other night, she said all of the fears that we had. She said, "Why did you take me out of here? I have speech therapy here. I have friends here. And like, I miss my friends. I want to be here." And you're just like, you're crying too, because you're like, oh my God, like, are we traumatizing them? But
Right.
at the same time, then the next day we're looking at photos, we're getting these flashbacks of Spain, where she learned how to ride a bike in Bike City, like where they're rollerblading, where we're riding bikes together as a family. And then all of a sudden we got those memories back, and we're just like, if this little flash, even though it's a month-long trip here in San Diego, is truly still a flash. We would go right. This is a unique trip because we're working so hard in this warehouse, but this is not what life would be. We know exactly what it would be because we've been here. We would probably just get kind of complacent, coming home at night, watching TV, doing our things day in, day out. But like in Spain, and this is what I have to keep thinking about. Every night we were doing something different, as a family, as a unit, and it felt way more family to me, and so I'm holding on to that. And I know it's going to feel like a new chapter. We're starting the girls in a new school there, a new local school there. And so I think there's a lot of anxiety around that too for them. But we're going to take it 1 year at a time. And that's what we're thinking about now, instead of just calling everything forever. Nothing is permanent. And so we're just going for it. I'm excited to go back, but I'm also feeling sad to go back too.
Yeah, it's interesting. And you as an entrepreneur, entrepreneurs are constantly pivoting. There's constant shifts. There's always market changes. So it's as if, I don't want to call your family a business, but if you see things as a business and there's different shifts, the only thing that's constant is change. So in a way,
Yes.
selfishly, I tell myself, we're growing as a family. We're teaching our kids resilience. We're growing by this experience of living in Europe, as opposed to being super comfortable in our darn near perfect life here in California. So those are the things that I hold on to. But last night, you and I were talking about opening up Pandora's box. Because there's going to be some people that watch this, either YouTube or different things on Instagram. It's not going to be easy. And as soon as you move, it's going to feel magical. But then you start to think, "Oh, I already jumped. Now that like, where am I? We've already opened up Pandora's box, so our life will never, ever, ever be the same." That's scary, but it's also pretty beautiful in the sense that we are giving our family this opportunity. I don't know. It's weird. Do you feel like that at all? It's
A
weird.
100%. I mean, I hope that our kids look back at this someday and just remember this time as like, wow, they did something, for us that was just so out of the box and different, to just give us an experience, a better life, a new culture, to learn something new. And that is what this is at the end of the day. This is still, in the big picture of life, a blip in time
Yeah.
that we will always remember. No matter what the outcome is going to be, we absolutely love our life, and we're so grateful to have both of these experiences. And that's how we have to look at this. And so, yeah, I'm really messed up, and I don't know how I'm going to feel when we actually leave, because we've already created like back in our routine again. But I'm also like just putting in my mind right now that like I am so excited to go back. And yes, we left Spain, but we're like looking forward to this new chapter in Spain together with more intention on this cultural shift.
Yeah, it's almost like wherever your family is, I know you guys will find joy and love and happiness wherever you guys are. But it's very interesting. I am lucky because, I mean, I know you are too, but yeah, I have a really big community in Valencia, as you do as well. So I'm always reminded of the love and the community that we've built there. So I feel like it's part of our family as well. Um, but my mother, she's like, mijo, life is beautiful here, but as soon as you land in Spain, you're going to be reminded why you did it. Why? Because she visited us for the first, she's never left the country in
Mm.
23 years or been on a plane in
Wow.
23 years. So a few months ago, she came to visit, and it was like opening up another world. And I think I'm on my soapbox, but I always tell people if it's in your heart, the slightest, I think you deserve to give yourself a shot, to just try it. And like you said, nothing is forever because if we say forever, it gets kind of weird. I think it's
Yeah.
a mind fuck if you talk about forever and my parents are aging and I'm missing out birthdays and I'm missing this and I'm missing that. So you could lose it if you think too much about forever, right?
Totally. Yeah, it's like a regretted statement. I'm like, why did we ever say that? Because now it's like a pride thing too, of like, no, we're staying.
Yeah.
You know.
So Vicky, do me a
Yeah.
favor. Talk to me about something sad. You talked about your 8-year-old crying. Is
Mm.
there a sad moment that you had, whether being in Valencia or this trip back, that aside from the 8-year-old crying, is there something that brought sorrow? The reason I'm going to this route is because every channel talks about joy of moving abroad, and I wanted you specifically because you and I are in an emotional limbo. So, is
Yeah.
there anything that's you know on the sadder side or the more not as pretty side?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's like a little bit of two things I'm thinking about. And it's definitely seeing, because I also am from New York. We're going to New York next week to be with my parents. Trying to spend as much time when we go there as I can with them. And I'm seeing, people aging, and it I just like you just said too with our parents in general. Are we missing out on something? And yes, it could be just a year, but there's so much that also happens in a year. Saying goodbye to friends. I love, so there's in Valencia right now, what I love about it is I feel like I have way more personal balance. Like I am working out, I am in this routine where I can work later because of United States hours. So I'm like, actually, for the first time, and I can't tell you how long, with being a business owner and the grind of just stressing and waking up and getting places to like being in a calm state has been everything for me. But what I've realized when I come back to the United States is I'm actually missing connection. Yes, we have community in Valencia, but for me personally, I'm missing like that ride or die, like those, like we just haven't, it hasn't been long enough to form like those deep, deep bonds for me personally, because I've been just focused on personal and business and family. And so, like, leaving here, my family, and seeing them in a different way all of a sudden, and also missing deep connections with friends, that is a real, that's what I'm feeling, I think, the most right now. Like, the grass is greener kind of, is the grass really greener? Like we left this to like leave, and for us it was kind a little bit of an escape. And now I'm like, again, like what did we do? Like we had it all here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's tough. That's super tough. Last night I was with my friend that we've been friends since 5 years old. Her name is Ashley. We went to kindergarten all the way through 8th grade together. Her
Wow.
husband actually, I don't know how you say it, but he married my wife and I. He was the dude, doing the
Yeah,
wedding.
yeah, efficient.
So yeah, so there's such a deep rooted connection, kind of like what you're saying, where you don't have to explain yourself. People know the ins and outs about who you are, your personality, your unhinged sense of humor in terms of the things, stupid things I say at dinner time, or you know what I mean. I don't have to apologize for my stupidity.
Right.
Um, it's interesting. I think you and I should do an interview again in Valencia, how we feel, but I want everybody watching this to know that myself, along with Vicky, we are in a emotional limbo of did we make the right decision? It's very easy. It could be very easy for us to stay back here in California. with our friends, our family, our routine, the conveniences of it all. And then I think specifically because you and I are parents, to think about our kids, which I think is the biggest mind fuck because
Yes.
I don't know, I'm horrible with quotes, but they say like you're only as happy as your least happy child or something.
Yeah.
That's true because in Valencia, my wife and I we're obsessed with our life. Our 10-year-old, she's cool. You know, she's cool. Just give her a squishy and she's good to go. But our 15-year-old, yeah, maybe a little bit of her light was dimmed a little bit this past year because she wasn't herself. She couldn't make deep connections with people, her peers, because of the language barrier. Um, but if I'm going to take the more militant approach, which I'm not trying to, but it is a good thing for her to get beat up a little bit. Life is going to beat you up a little bit. And I think it's a beautiful thing that Valencia or Spain is the perfect playground to get beat up because of the safety, because of the, just the culture of Spain. They're very family oriented. I'm
Absolutely.
rambling, Vicky. I think I'm just trying to justify our decision.
I know. Same. Same. No, I'm 100% with you because I actually feel the same. And I'm thinking, they're only 8 years old right now. And it's so easy for them to focus on, these friendships, which they will have. We're lucky. We're going to come back, twice a year. We're going to come back again in the summer. And so we're not going to miss those relationships. And we're going to, we're pretty good at keeping in touch with them as well. But I think I can't wait for them to truly embrace. I think this year specifically for us with this new school they're going to be attending, and there's a lot of resources for our daughter with autism particularly that she didn't have this past year. We were just kind of trying to figure it all out and get settled. So I'm excited to see how that all goes, along with just learning the language. And I think that will be the big game changer at the same time. These are obviously like core years in their lives. And I just hope, again, they look back at this and say, yeah, we did the right thing. My parents did something really cool and crazy.
But Vicky, if you think about life as business, you're investing in your family with becoming bilingual. So in the future,
Hmm.
they'll be have bigger opportunities with bigger business opportunities in terms of languages. They could connect to more people in the world.
Yes.
They could connect the dots. They could be more independent in the world. My wife Gabby, she did tell me because same thing. I'm like Gabby, this is like we left perfection. What are we doing? And she said the beauty, Adam, is that we're here and it felt like nothing changed.
Yes.
So she's like, okay, if we ever do come back, things will be as is, and we could just pick up where we left off. So we're growing in Valencia, and Vicky, I definitely want to do another interview with you once we're there to see how we feel.
Right. When it all comes back, I think it's going to come back for us pretty quickly. I can't wait to get back on my e-bike, as a fam, head over to the Turia and, see that community again. I think it's going to click really
As long as
quickly.
as long as you don't get injured, Vicky. People,
I know,
for
right? Oh
those
my
that don't
God.
know, Vicky got injured on a bicycle. So how
Still
do we
got the
find?
scar right here.
Ooh, the battle wounds. How do we find your business, Vicky? How do we find you guys?
Yeah, for sure. Thank you. So it's on Instagram, Dapper Boy, DapperBoi, and then also, our family kind of channel, Meet the Pashas, Pasche.
I
Yes,
love
thank you
it,
so much. This is amazing and vulnerable. Oh my God,
dude.
putting it out there.
But you and I were texting at 12 in the morning, 12 in the morning last
Yep,
night. Like, it's a question like, how do you feel? I feel crazy. I'm so.
yep. What did
Anyways,
we do?
dude, I appreciate the vulnerability because I needed to get this off my chest. I know you did as well, and I feel we're gonna bless somebody
Yes,
who is going through this or may in the future. So, appreciate you so much,
absolutely.
Vicky.
Thank you so much.